Welcome back, my dark means, to the WTF news/reactions. And today we're gonna be talking about the possibility of censorship happening on YouTube now. We're talking about what's going on right now because it's hitting YouTube now, and it's getting worse. The censorship is getting out of hand, and now YouTube's starting to do it, and it's just potentially gonna get worse. Now, I have no idea. I just started this video. But yeah, it's getting bad out there, and if this keeps up, I don't think none of us are going to be able to do anything without having to, like, actually send our identification over to a company to basically deal with basically just to get a simple thing. I mean, how long before I'm not even able to go on my console more to look up YouTube, and then it says, hey, you need to identify yourself so that way we know that it's you. All right? And if that's the case, then what the heck? I might as well just be a hermit at that point. I mean, what is going on here? I mean, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to send my freaking facial thing, my data, over to someone that's potentially going to get hacked. I mean, they sell my data anyway. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be discussing this. Hey, just to let you know, I did do a gameplay today. But I decided to make another video, this video here, because I finished Masters Anima. But I decided to do another video today because this is a serious issue, and because it's YouTube. I'm on YouTube, and if this hits, how am I supposed to, like, I'm still low in the numbers, but I want to make this my career. And if this censorship happens, how am I supposed to even be on YouTube, especially if it goes to how I think it's going to happen? Alright, so sorry about that. I'm going to continue on. This may be a long video than 10 minutes. But either way, we're going to see what happened, and I'm going to give my 2 cents in the situation. Alright, and I might pause, depending. Continue on. Take it away,
Lock your
Moist.
doors and hide under your bed all you want. It won't protect.
Oh, and also I will leave the link down below for you guys to watch it without my beautiful voice, as usual. Continue on.
You from a menace on the loose. A maniac at large that not even SpongeBob could catch. Mass surveillance, control, and censorship. It's now at our doorstep here. A place many have called home. YouTube. They've just announced they're rolling out AI in the US to detect if users are...
And this is what I'm afraid of, using AI when to try to censor stuff. The problem is they already have a bot system that literally is already which is problematic on its own. I mean, literally, they have their own bot that sucks so bad that that thing keeps flagging innocent people that literally barely do anything. Most of all, but in reality, it's sorry. My energy is because I just made the gameplay video and I'm trying to get my thoughts in order. And I have to say this right now that this is a bad idea. Their own bot system sucks in its own right, because if that bot literally goes after anybody, if you do even one thing wrong that the bot thinks is bad, you're basically effed in that video. I mean, that video is like basically effed. I mean, literally, they can't even make their own bot system work. And so they think they can make an AI work. That's going to be way too out of power, way out of control. And I don't know how they're going to make that AI work at all. I mean, if you look at this right now, and if I have to understand, there's an example. Basically, VTubers have been hit hard on this platform already. They can't even do an ASMR without them being flagged, saying, "Oh, it is actual content," but it's just them basically using their voice. I mean, I think they're getting their music videos as well as taken down as well. The VTubers, they've been hit so hard, it's just ridiculous, and they were just basically doing nothing at all. I mean, literally one VTuber literally was just there, and it said, "Oh, you've been flagged for extra content," but she was fully clothed. The model was fully clothed, and it was just doing nothing. I mean, it made no sense. And if you think about that and have it with the AI, it's gonna get so much worse. I mean, especially if they decide to go through your past and decide that every other video back in the past is bad, and if they decide to implement that the AI has the ability to basically flag your videos and make you have this 3-strike system and to get you banned, oh my god, it's gonna get out of control. Alright, sorry, I just had to give my 2 cents. I'm still gonna talk about this, how much worse this is gonna get.
Actually under 18, ignoring whatever the account's stated age is, and will apply restrictions to users it suspects are teens. And if it suspects that you are not over 18, It will restrict what you have access to, and the only way to overturn that is by providing identification.
Look, the problem with that is that none of us want to do that. Seriously, I'm gonna say this now. We do not have the systems in place to stop people from stealing our identities. We have them, but they're not perfect. What's worse, the hackings are involved. Everything falls apart. And in the end, the more services that do this, the more likely one of these services are gonna get hit by someone. And plus, I bet you hackers are just frothing in the mouth, just waiting for this to happen, so that way they can try to hack all these companies to see how much data they can steal. Literally, we do not have a system for this to even work, and we don't want the system at all. Think about it. You could be just walking around one day, and all of a sudden, the site that you were visiting, that you provided your identification, which you should not, all of a sudden gets hacked, and now that identity identification is like gone into the ether, and now anyone can use it. It's like hectic in its own right. I mean, think of that. And with multiple systems doing this, there's just a high probability that you're gonna basically get, someone's gonna be able to steal your identity. It's literally insane already in the end with just this. Sorry, I had to make that tangent because literally all it takes is just one company to fail a hack attempt, and then all of a sudden everything starts falling apart. So many identities, so many people, and it's just gonna get way worse than this. Like what Asmongold said, it's gonna get way worse, and even he may have to not be. And what's problematic is that Asmongold does talk real. He's a realist. I think he's gonna get hit the hardest because I don't think his content is gonna be age appropriate or something. Trust me, it'll happen. Even he won't be able to handle this stuff. All right, sorry. Continue on.
It's awfully familiar. Does that ring any bells to anyone out there? You know, with what's going on over in the UK at the moment?
It's getting out of control.
I would certainly hope so. If it doesn't, go give your doctor a huge pat on the ass and tell him that the lobotomy was very successful because you have lost all fucking brain function.
Yeah.
It's now U.S. citizens' turn to have the piss sucked from their balls here and all privacy completely thrown in the shitter. So,
we might as well become hermits. Let's become hermits.
Think that you're under 18.
Also, like this right here.
You're ready to
like
fork over your ID in order to continue to access certain YouTube content and features. When YouTube determines a user is teen or preteen, the site will disable personalized advertising, activate digital well-being features, and put stricter content filters as well as behavioral restrictions into place.
It's already bad enough.
YouTube will pop its titty into your mouth and breastfeed you here because your parents aren't fucking raising you.
Exactly. I agree on that. Yeah, the parents are not raising their kids, and I stand by what I said 2 videos ago. That literally parents are not raising the goddamn kids. These parents are literally just not bothering. I swear, what the heck is the problem with parents? Literally, I'm saying is, if you have a kid right now, if you're saying this is acceptable, that this is happening, then you should not have had a kid in the first place. I stand by that phrase. I stand by the decision. Because, and plus, if you say I'm wrong, I'm gonna tell you this. My own parents even say that no, my own mom and I explained it to her that she said no, it's the problem with the parent, with the father and the mother. That's their problem. They're supposed to make sure that these kind of stuff does not happen to their child. Now, of course, I'm all for that. Hey, you stop protecting your kid from the real world. You should protect him enough to where he knows what to do, but don't completely put him in bubble wrap. At that point, what happens when he gets into the real world? I mean, that's why we have so many people losing their minds every 5 seconds these days. Because we keep keeping our kids way too safe. We should just keep them safe enough. Sorry, I gotta say that. Sorry, I gotta get my thoughts in order. We gotta keep them safe enough to where they're ready for the real world. Not so far to the point where we need to basically, so much so that they will forget what the real world is and live in their own fantasy world and hide in a corner. But enough to where they will be ready. To be ready to see the world and be ready what the life throws at them. Seriously. And also, once again, back on the parent thing, like I said before, if you have a kid and you think and you're just letting anyone and you're just complaining to the corporation, complaining to the government that this kind of thing should not be online, then you should not have a kid in the first place. You should not have had a child in the first place because you are the parent. You decide how to raise your child in a in a safe way, but you should not be complaining to the government or to any corporation that this should not be online, because that is not how that works. And if you complain about how, oh, it's so hard being a parent, yeah, that's the point, genius. That is literally parenthood. That is literally parenthood. Did you think it was going to be easier? Easy sailing, raising a child? No, I'll tell you this. I was a monster when I was a kid. I caused a lot of problems when I was a child. When my parents literally raised me right to make sure to me that I should not be doing this stuff, I should not be causing problems, and they raised me right, and now I'm ready for the real world-ish enough to basically know, yeah, a lot of things bad happen in the world, and I accepted that because, oh yeah, that there's a lot of things happening. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do with the things, and I'm ready to basically be able to live with it. Seriously, they raised me right. And if you're just not bothering to raise your child, I'm going to say this right now. You might as well give all rights to your child to the government and let them raise it for you. Raise your child for you. Because at that point, you might as well just do that. I'm not sorry for saying that. I'm going to literally say it. One, you should not have had a child if you're just complaining to the government and the corporations. Two, you might as well give your child to the government and be done with it. Because at that point, what's the point? Then what's the point of you raising it? Raising the child. Seriously, sorry I say it, but that's how my mind works. Yeah, seriously, I stand by those two phrases. You can count me out on it as much as you want, but you know it's true. And if you keep complaining about this, like I said, why'd you have a child in the first place? You are the parent. You're supposed to make sure that the child is raised right. And you're just putting them, and you're just letting them on the internet as much as possible, thinking that, oh yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. There are ways to stop your kid. Don't pay the cable bill. Don't pay the internet bill. Basically, take away their ability to look up on the internet. Teach them how, and if you're and let them on the internet and let them know, hey, look, there's some stuff on the internet. You need to be ready for it. I'm gonna let you know this now. Let them know, but also supervise them to make sure that they're not going into those bad sites. But let them know that there is bad sites. There's bad people on there. Just be ready. I'm gonna let you know that once you do not go into the sites, at least not at your age. Wait until you're older. And then we'll discuss whether or not it's alright for you. Seriously, how hard is it to literally sit your child down and talk about this situation? Come on, people! Alright. Sorry, I went on that tangent. Alright, continue on.
Future where these greasy, greedy, ghoulish corporations are now going to be LARPing as your parental figures, deciding what you can and cannot access based on their estimation of your age. Because no longer are parents even expected to be parents anymore. The internet is now that. My papa is a fucking YouTube algorithm. It tells me what I can watch, what I'm allowed to consume.
It's
fucking infuriating.
Yes,
the only thing here that makes any level of sense is disabling personalized ads for kids. Which is
that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure the
makes
YouTube Kids app already does.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't even know why that app exists anymore.
Yeah.
With this effect, with this change going into effect, matter. It's now just a redundancy if they're going to polymorph the main YouTube platform into basically catering to kids on it as well. It's fucking lunacy. It is not YouTube's responsibility to put the bumpers up in the bowling lane.
Yes, it is not. It is not. Also, we should not basically make kid-friendly internet. What the freak is the point? I mean, at that point, we won't be able to look at any information at all. Think about it. If we get to this point, how much of history is going to be erased from YouTube? Think about that. We won't be able to talk about history. We won't be able to talk about the bad things about what happened in our past, in the history, in everything else. We won't be able to talk about anything because that'll be too bad for the kids. Too bad. We need to protect the kiddies from the real world, which somehow, like I said before, is not possible. You can't keep your kids safe from the real world. The real world will always be there. Unless we can somehow change the laws of physics and control space and time to where we're able to change everything back to basic kid friendly, we're never going it will never, reality will always come in. It will always be happen. No matter what. Reality will always win. And if your child literally goes out and starts thinking that, oh yeah, everything's good, get ready for when they come back crying home after somebody basically yells at them or saying such a bad word at them. And it's seriously. Or worse, they think everything's fun and then they get in trouble because they think it's all right to do some things that would not be appropriate out in public. I mean, seriously, it is not the internet's job to raise your child. It's the internet is there to help, you know, to teach them, because to teach them life, help you if you like want to, you know, you're not able to teach them yourself. You can just put them down and just, hey, here you go, look at this stuff. This will help you in the long run. But it's not their job to raise your child. You're the parent. Sorry, I'm basically I'm trying my best to say this as logical as possible, but in reality speaking, we should not try to censor the internet because people don't know how to raise their goddamn kids. But in reality speaking, what's more is that there's more likely the corporations and also the government trying to usurp control against us. Yeah, I don't do political stuff here, but when something happens that may be political, I start talking about it when it's important. And this is just, for me, controlling our lives even more. It's just for us to get them to control our lives, to say, hey, you can't watch this, but it's alright to see this. I mean, wait until all of a sudden corporations start, hey, it's not safe for this one, but you should watch our content. It's better. Don't watch this other person's content. Watch our content. Which already happens now, but think about that. It's like what happened when they tried to get rid of the internet, where they tried to, the FCC tried to enforce the internet law, which thankfully we fought against hard, and they were trying to make it so that everybody had to pay to basically get on the internet. At that point, I think that was the cause. I don't know. Corporations were able to pay, but lower corporations weren't able to, so they get steamrolled. I think that was the issue. Somebody fact check that for me. Imagine that when basically corporations basically make you have to do this kind of stuff. This is basically what the FCC was trying to do, to basically control the internet. And if corporations, but even worse, because corporations are going to be fighting each other to get your content in any way possible, and saying that this is not a good content, go work with it, come to our channel, we're going to do that, it's safer over here. But in reality, they're just trying to control you. That's basically the whole point. It's all about control. They're trying to control us. That's basically about it. Continue on. Sorry, Moist.
The onus should be on the parents to ensure that their kids are not consuming harmful content on YouTube.
Yes.
It is crazy that YouTube is doing this.
Yes.
So they're using AI, which will assess a user's age via multiple behavioral factors.
How?
What kind of videos the user searches for, the categories of videos they watch, and how long the account has been active per its blog post, which is very vague and also going to lead to so many accounts getting flagged as being under 18.
Exactly. I mean, if they're going by how long the freaking how long the channel's been up and running, then they might as well it can ban every person that started 10 years ago. I mean, they might as well freaking start basically ban, like flagging every single person that started a channel 10 or 5 years ago, because that's probably considered a child now. This, and I agree with Moy, it's going to cause so much problem. I mean, we already had, I wasn't here during this time, but there was a time on YouTube where it was getting out of control, and they were going after every channel. No demand. I was seeing reports of people losing their channels left and right because there was no safeguards, and it was just allowing anybody to just basically copyright strike, do the 3-strike system, and you're basically screwed. If it wasn't for Jim Quisition, doing that video, I think he was the one that did it, basically causing, making every single, basically copyright strike every single thing in a video, to where every single one of the other companies were fighting over the same video, we would not have been able to change that. Seriously, it was hectic during the time. And people were losing their channels. I think it was during the same time. Thankfully, it's calmed down, but even then, now it's still a pain in the butt. And this is going to get so much worse!
That definitely are not. There are so many people in the Pokemon community, for example, that are adults. In fact, pretty much everybody that does Pokemon content online is late 20s and early 30s at this point. It is entirely an adult market, but it is a child's IP. It is an IP that is catering towards kids. So pretty much anyone that searches for Pokemon cards, Pokemon Showdown, really anything even adjacent to that, or Nintendo games, any gamers
Wait.
that play Nintendo games, all of those will be like a strike against them that could end with their account being deemed like under 18 or something. It's going to be absolute chaos.
Not only that,
this
the companies
technology
will be
will
able to,
allow
like,
us to
pay
infer
them
a
off.
user's age and then use that signal, regardless of the birthday in the account, to deliver our age-appropriate product experiences and protections. If the AI estimation is incorrect,
What?
YouTube says it will allow a user to verify their age with a credit card,
Excuse
a
me?
government ID, or a cell phone.
F that.
Wow.
Sorry,
what
that
saints.
happened there.
You get
But
the privilege
F that.
of providing your identification or your biometric data to
Or your
YouTube
credit
in order
card.
to prove that you are
For some
actually
reason.
over 18. Surely that's going to be like really secure, and it's not going to be used for any kind of like tracking or anything like that. Don't
Hey.
be ridiculous, fucking tinfoil condom conspiracy theorist. There's
Yeah,
nothing
conspiracy
wrong with
theorists beyond
forking
belief.
over all of your.
I'm gonna say this now. Many conspiracy theories are true. The problem is that now all those theories are more than likely going to be permanently on the side of not true now, because YouTube is not going to be allowing those on here as well. And now this is not conspiracy anymore. This is full on freaking legitimate, like, controlling us. It's not just in the TVs and video games and everything anymore. Now we're full on having the censorship happening in real life. This is not conspiracy. This is true life now. Anyone who thought this would never happen, yeah, right. It was only a matter of time before some companies were going to try to do this. It was only a matter of time.
Identification and your credit card information to corporations or the government directly, so that way they can actively monitor you and
steal
censor
my
you and
money.
basically control what you have access to. What's the big deal? It's so absurd, man. I cannot believe how quickly this is getting out of control. Like I told you, it was not exclusive to just the UK. It is already touched down here, and it hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week. That snowball has already become a full
This
fucking
week
shitstorm
has getting out of
avalanche.
control.
It is.
First of all, we already had serious issues last week with V Shoujo and that company falling apart and basically causing havoc. Now we gotta deal with this week where basic censorship is running havoc. Man, we're speed running the heck on earth right now. We're speed running the bad stuff right now. Man, what's next week? We're gonna basically potentially have the zombie virus next? Which, technically speaking, that would be pretty awesome. But still, what is going on?
Terrible. It's scary. It's very scary. This article also mentions something else. The rollout of the new feature comes one day after Australia's government announced it would ban children under 16 from using YouTube. And
That's
less than
good.
A week after UK implemented the sweeping age checks on content on social
Okay.
media networks, YouTube was
What?
promised an exemption from Australia's social media ban last year by the then communications minister, but the Australian government said
I think
on
banning
Monday
people
the
under
platform
16
would
is
in
one
fact
thing.
be included in the country's ban on children under 16 using social networks. Ban is slated to take effect in December. Google, YouTube's parent company, strenuously advocated against the Australian ban and has threatened to sue to overturn it.
Well,
That
that didn't
subject
work.
They mentioned there about the Australian government banning kids from making social media accounts is a topic that I briefly touched on like a year ago. But in a nutshell, this is something I've said a lot. The entire landscape of social media has changed so much over the last like
it has.
decade, like drastically.
Like,
Where I do
so
think
much.
It is downright dangerous and detrimental for kids to just have unlimited.
Yes, at this point, do you realize the last time I saw a kid having a phone is when I was like going to like what's funny is that I was in middle school, and when I got off the bus, I saw kids in elementary school having a phone. What the freak? And this is like back in the days, like years ago. Like years ago, but oh my god, I'm showing my age here. But oh my god, are you kidding me? And seriously, we should even let kids in school have their own things. Those should be like, oh, yes, it's an emergency, but you are allowed to go on the internet or some form of something. There's like, I know emergency calls, but at this point, it's getting ridiculous. We should not have kids have any form of connection to the internet. I think at the 16 range is good, because at least that way they won't be in there and the internet. But I do think that we should at least teach them that the real world exists. A certain age, I think after you get to 16, I don't know what the age grade there for any country, but once you get to 16 and in that grade, whatever grade that is when they start teaching you, hey, this is time for you to learn the internet. There's some bad stuff in there, so we're going to teach you this, so that way you're prepared for it when you go onto the internet. There's going to be this. There's going to be cyberbullies. There's going to be some bad stuff. There's going to be these sites and stuff. All these stuffs here are going to be bad for you. But we're going to teach you so that way you can maneuver around it. And the choice is yours whether you look up on those or not. We're just teaching you what's going to happen. If you go to these sites, that's on you. But we're teaching you here so you be ready to basically turn away from those sites so that way you don't go onto them. At least teach them about the internet. I mean, why is this not a factor in school? The school system makes no sense as well. I mean, I know I'm bringing that in, but you got at this point we need to stop freaking putting the school system from the 1800s and start modernizing it to where we need to teach kids about the modern stuff. I mean, seriously, I had to learn about the internet basically from my friends, and also when I finally got the internet, I searched on it by myself. Seriously, at this point, we need to start teaching kids modern stuff. Sorry, I went on that tangent, but still, ugh.
Access to things like Twitter.
Okay, here you go.
Much over the last decade, drastically. Where I do think it is downright dangerous and
yes, it is.
For kids to just have
a certain
unlimited
age
access to things like Twitter, for example.
Yep.
So, I do think that it's not exactly a good thing to just have kids making social media accounts.
Exactly, it shouldn't.
Rotting away on them. I do think that is harmful, but there is no way of actually stopping that.
There's not.
In a way that doesn't step on everyone's freems. And
yes.
It just didn't even really dawn on me because the way it was being spoken about was just oh, don't worry, the methods we're coming up with are...
That was back then.
I'm sure privacy is still top of mind. We don't want to encroach on that. We're just trying to think of ways to, help kids not get, sucked into social media.
I can, just said it before. It's called parents need to teach their kids about the real world. And also the school system needs to basically modernize themselves to teach them about modern stuff. The internet is literally everything now. That should be number one in their teaching. But no, we're still focused on English, math, and history class that make no freaking... That literally is just the same thing every year. Now, of course, English, math, and history is important. But the problem is that at that certain point, how far does it get to the point where it's just repeating them year after year? Do you realize how many times I've heard about the freaking Great War, the Second Great War, every freaking year when I got to middle school? Every year was the same thing. The Great War. That is it. And I think it's some presidents. That is it. We need to start teaching kids about the internet as well. Something needs to happen. And the teaching system needs to happen. Parents need to teach the kids the internet, and the school system needs to modernize so that way we can prepare them for the real world. Oh, sorry, I went on a tangent. Whew.
Degeneracy and all of that. And when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. But when you really stop to think about it, and you stop and really fucking smell it, it's very clear that there's no way of doing that without just stripping freedoms from everybody else. How the fuck are you possibly going to stop that from happening? And it also shouldn't be the government's responsibility or the platform's responsibility to ensure that kids aren't making those accounts.
No, it shouldn't.
It is the parents.
Yes!
No matter how you spend it should always come back to the parents. And what
school is second.
Did initially, and what I thought was the right direction, was having a separate platform specifically
that didn't work.
Age group. YouTube Kids.
It would have,
that way, that group, those kids, would not be going to main YouTube. They would be on that platform, which is safe for them. And the parents' responsibility would be ensuring that they are on YouTube Kids, not main YouTube. But now what's happening is every company is now putting in these age verification checks, which require ID or biometric data, which, as we're seeing unfold...
And I'm going to say this now. What makes the parent, and if the parents think this is all right to use your credit card and ID and any identification to basically do this, you have lost your mind. Because for one, you use your own card to get on the freaking platform. That's one thing, because you're taking responsibility. But here's the problem: if somebody decides to hack the system or to maybe send you ads for no freaking reason, you're the one that sent your data out. And if your kid decides to do it, well, guess what? That kid is going to be susceptible to whatever stuff is going to happen. Like if all of a sudden if somebody steals your kid's identity, guess what's gonna happen? If that person uses it for nefarious deeds, guess where the law enforcement are gonna come? To your freaking place to search the house and basically possibly arrest your child because literally they think this is where the problem was coming from. Seriously, identity theft is a real thing. Or possibly steal all your money and put it on the child's debt. It's not that hard. Literally. It's not we're in the real world. This is not the fantasy world. This is the real world. Parents need to keep their kids in check and stop complaining to corporations and the government. Parents should be raising their voices against this, not for this. God.
In real time, rapidly, leads to just basically control and mass surveillance. That's the entire underlying
Big Brother
behind all of it. It's not about protecting kids. It's not about making kids aren't getting access
it's
to
about control.
Dangerous social media.
Because the government doesn't give an F. Corporations don't care.
That it is all about getting more of your information so they can monitor you more effectively. It's not a conspiracy. It is just right in your face.
Yeah.
Censorship, control, and mass surveillance. And YouTube now taking this step is extremely concerning. And obviously, as everyone,
especially since YouTube is literally basically one of the places, number one places to get information, besides X, which that place is starting to get hit on. Basically, it's one of the few places where X is has basically lets you do whatever freak you want, which is basically, I know that's a problem, but at least that way you can get information. Well, now unfortunately may not happen. But YouTube is one of the other places, and if they restrict that, how much information is they're going to deem as bad? You may not be able to search up certain news episodes because of YouTube's AI thing.
It is not going to be 100% accurate. I would be shocked if it's even close to 50% accurate. Break this shit down to its bare butt cheeks real quick. If it's going to be making these guesses off of the content you're watching or your searches, there is so much wiggle room for error. Let's say you watch an anime, trailer or something. I imagine YouTube would probably put that into a cartoon bin, which would then be falling under a under 18 bin. Which would be a strike against you. What if you misspell something in the searches? What if you accidentally make a typo? Does that make them think that you might be a kid as well? What about something like autoplay? Let's say you put on a real adult video. You look at fucking day trading tutorials, but it autoplays to something else, which is making slime or some shit. YouTube's recommended algorithm is fucking wild. You could easily just be flagged as an under 18 account, and then, if you want to keep using your account and have access to all the content features that you've been used to, you're going to need to fork over that ID, or at least show us your face. Give us some of that sweet biometric data currency, please. I hope you'll say no. That is not something you should ever be comfortable with giving any company. It is a big...
What's problematic, if this happens, that means I won't be able to watch my favorite YouTubers anymore. Which means I won't be able to watch people like Cartoons, who basically swears on their videos and gets hit by... And sometimes gets hit by age restrictions sometimes. I won't be able to watch Angry Joe anymore because he basically talks it as it is. But if I have to basically give up my day just to do that, it's going to be hectic. I mean, and also depending on which person I watch, then heck, even a person like Gray still plays. Does that mean his channel may be getting hit as well? Think about that. I mean, he's trying to be as safe as possible, but even he may get hit. I mean, this is a slippery slope, and if the AI is basically dictating everything, it's only a matter of time before this platform gets so bad that nobody's going to be able to do anything, and they're going to be seeing so many people leaving the platform. If people are still staying it, then this is people who are brainwashed thinking that it's all good and happy. Alright, sorry, I had to make that tangent.
Problem. And there needs to be something done about this.
Yes.
It is truly out of control now.
Yes.
And it's here coming to YouTube. So
it's getting out of control.
Just another concerning act of censorship and surveillance here. And it's not just overseas anymore. That's really about it. See ya.
All right, before an ad comes up, but seriously, this is such an overreach that this is getting out of control. I mean, it's all, like I said, back on the top of YouTube, I started my channel in 2016. Or to make it easier, when the remaster for PS4 Skyrim edition came out. So, if the AI decides to go by how long your channel's been running, then I might as well. Then doesn't that mean that my channel may get hit? I mean, what happens if it goes that far? I don't know if he said that, but if the AI decides that no, it's been on for this long, you're a child. So if a person that started his channel 5 or 10 years ago, that means there's a 10-year or 5-year-old kid behind the screen. Are they going to implement that? I mean, the amount of errors that this AI is going to go, especially since they can't even get their own aimbot, their own bot system working, which keeps going after everybody, is basically already bad enough. But adding an AI would just make it worse. There is no way to 100% keep everyone off this without destroying the freedoms. There is no way to basically make something safe without destroying freedom. I should be allowed to be on the internet enjoying myself, not to be told that this is not safe. I am an adult that's going to live to who knows how long, and you're telling me that basically we need to keep the internet safe for kids who are basically just starting out, and yet you tell me that. Especially if we find a way to basically make our lives longer, to make sure that we live longer. I mean, if you think about it, it makes total nonsense, because if we live longer, that means we're going to have to deal with all this thing until the day we go to the ground. Which means we won't be able to do anything just to protect us, the kids that literally will grow out into the real world and grow to a certain age, to where basically say, oh, it's safe. I know I said that, yeah, there should be a certain age rating, basically, which I do agree with. There should be a certain point in the school system where you turn, at least to me, when I got this, this came into my head because I saw the Australian thing. When you're 16, they should start teaching you about the internet and the real world. That's something you should do. The teacher, the school system, and your parents. The parents should be the ones teaching you this as much as possible, but also the school system needs to do that as well. Because at this point, it's getting ridiculous that we're trying to keep the kids safe by trying to censor the entire internet, which makes no sense at all. This is becoming Shimonetta. It's becoming that anime. It's literally becoming that. It's getting out of control. I mean, literally, and once again, I'm going to say this once again. If you are a parent and you're not raising your voice against this and saying it's fine, you should not have had a child in the first place. You should not have a child. And you're a person that agrees with this and want to have a child, you should not have the child. You should not have a child. You should not go and have a child. When I say that, I don't mean like go off child. You should not even think about having a child in the first place. Because literally, at that point, you're not a parent that's going to teach a child what's right and wrong. You're just going to let the internet, you're just going to let these corporations do it, who don't care about your kid. The government doesn't care about your kid. They just want control over your life. And like I said before, you might as well give away your kid to the government just so they can do what they want with the child. And these corporations do. You might as well give your rights to the corporations and the government. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be dystopian. It's already dystopian as it is. That's going to get even worse. It's going to get even worse. It's only Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday? I don't know. Yes, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. And it's only been half a week. Seriously, I stand by my thought process. If you're a parent that thinks this is alright, if you should not have had a child in the first place. If you're a person thinking about having a child and you support this censorship, you should not even think about having a child. You should be fighting this so that way when you have a child or raise a child, they'll be able to be safe and sound and not having to worry about dealing, and you having not to worry about censorship. And also, you should be raising your dang child. You should not let the corporation and government raise your dang child. It's not their responsibility. It's not the internet's responsibility to raise your dang child. It's there as a tool. The internet is there as a tool to help you raise your child, because if you may not have the knowledge sometimes. But in the end of the day, you should be the one raising your child. I stand by my phrasing. You should not have had a child if you're for this. You should not be thinking to have a child if you're for this censorship stuff. It is just getting out of hand, and I do not want to get up one day and find out that I cannot even watch a video without having to give up my identification just to go onto the internet. I might as well just become a hermit. We should all become hermits. Just get away from technology and become hermits. Go back into the old ways and not have anything to do with technology. We should become the Amish. That's what I think. We should start becoming the Amish. Sorry, I went on that tangent. But yeah, that's basically that's the future right now. That's the future. And back on the AI thing, sorry. The fact that we already have problems with the bot system already, the AI is going to make it worse because, for one, if you've seen VTubers lately, they're getting hit so hard by the YouTube for no freaking reason. And and I believe there's some bad actors in the company just, you know what, yes, Manny reviewed it, but we deny it, even though the video is safe for everybody. And with basically the AI, it's going to be even worse. I don't think we'll be able to see any VTubers on the channel anymore, at all. We're not going to see even more people trying to be on YouTube anymore. I mean, like I said, people like Asmongo, who tells it like it is, may be censored as well. I mean, think about it. If you watch the videos, you can tell that he says that he's edgy. He basically is edgy stuff. He tells it like it is. He doesn't care. And all of a sudden, if you try to look at his videos, he's going to get hit by some sort of age restriction. Constantly. It's going to be hectic. Like I said, it's going to get hectic. Our freedoms are getting taken over so much. It's just ridiculous. Alright, that's about it. That's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's longer than the video it is itself. But I just needed to say this because this is just ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do this. Like I said, identity theft is real. If you think the corporations won't give an F about what happens, they'll just put in a clause that's they'll just put a clause in their thing saying, "Oh yeah, but just be warned, if we're not responsible for your identity theft." Then it's gonna get even worse. Think about that. Corporations and the government don't care about your identity theft. That's why you go into the law system for. They don't have to raise a finger. It's your problem at that point. I will not be surprised if we have people going to court because their identity got stolen, and those people literally get away with it because they were able to frame someone. Jeez. Alright, it's a bit dark, and you may call it crazy, but that's the future that we're heading. A dystopian future where you can't go on the internet to look at something. Either way, hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, subscribe down below if you enjoyed it, which I highly doubt you did. Like and share the video to basically help my influence, spread my influence, and basically help my influence grow and glaze it everywhere. Oh, but that may be bad to say now. Take it as you will. And also, don't forget to press the black bell button to be notified whenever my videos pop up. Because at this point, also with the AI thing, I gotta say this last thing, is that if the AI is going to be flagging your channel, they may be trying to look. The AI may be look through entire history, which YouTube does already. Think about it. If you have any videos of your past, of basically, depending how long you've been in YouTube, basically so many videos that potentially may be bad, that the AI may say, "Oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad." It may flag you just for your past videos, especially some videos that may not be bad. Yep, it's gonna be hectic. And for right now, and also, yeah, back on the topic on the outro, basically, don't forget to check my channel because YouTube channel, which I may not be able to say that anymore because it may be flagged. Basic to come to my channel to see if I upload or not, and also to what was it? What's the last thing? Oh yeah, and also because I forget sometimes if I upload or not. Alright, and that's about it. And for right now, my dark minions dismissed.